I think, first of all, the challenges with a project like this is making sure that you're carrying the story right and making sure that you're representing the project right, which was the most important thing from the song to the music video. That was one of the challenges.
When I heard the lineup on the track, I thought, this must be a dream. It was only last year, I was on Channel O and I was saying, I really can't wait. You know, God willing, one day I'll be able to feature on a song with the likes of Tiwa Savage. Look at God.
The recording process was rather interesting because obviously, like I mentioned, all the artists were in different parts of the continent. And for the most part, they may have had like one or two interactions, but they didn't really know each other or their vibes. So firstly, the person who had the hardest job in that perspective was definitely the producer, Sheezy.
The artists brought a lot of different things to add to the project because they are from different countries, they are from different backgrounds. You know, like Tiwa Savage, which is like the biggest artist, female artist that we have in Africa. You know, talk of Diamond, Mikasa.
When they told us about the idea, all of us just sat down together, you know, all sent in our different parts. And funny enough, all the parts just connected together.
Almost each and every day I record all the time, so it was just one of those days. But a bit different because this is the first time I'm actually recording directly with Sheezy, who's like a producer that I really admire a lot. He's been working on a couple of tracks for me, but we normally work from a distance. I wrote it, you know, on my phone. When I heard the beat first, I was driving and I wrote it, and then I came to the studio and then I recorded with Sheezy.
I sang in Swahili, and my lyrics talking about, as my first line said, Tanzania, asante Nyerere Baba. It's Tanzania. Thanks a lot, Father Nyerere. We
got told that we had to submit our track at 8 a.m. the following morning. Guys, I got the track at 10 p.m. the day before. So imagine you two, you're eating your burger and people are calling you, telling you leave your food and go and record. I was like, oh Lord, please bless me with some great lyrics. So that was the biggest challenge, was when you don't have the freedom of time, you're put under pressure. But I think the pressure kind of worked as well because it really pushed me to make sure I did something special. But then I was being very over crucial with myself. I was like, is this good enough? Then we actually wrote a whole verse, then we scrapped it and then re-recorded another verse. I think in that night we may have written like 3 different verses.
The song was the biggest part of this campaign, and it took a lot out of a lot of us. It was emotionally and mentally taxing. People weren't sleeping and there was just high adrenaline all around.
I was really inspired, I think, just like I said, just about the whole project and trying to portray Africa in a very, very positive light. So it was just, and I had quite a straightforward task because I was singing the chorus. So I wasn't really, you know, it wasn't about me cramming a whole bunch of lyrics into my part. It was just about singing something, a hook that everybody could sing along to, and a line that could just bring everything together and summarize the whole project, basically.
Ghana, first of all, logistically was kind of the easiest place to shoot because of visas. We knew that we had to get everybody in last minute, and although there were quote-unquote visa issues, we knew if anything went down, we knew that MultiChoice basically has access to people in very high places in Ghana. I was like, and a lot of the artists were going to be here, so it was like, tick, 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 Ghana. That was the first thing, like, you know.
The challenge we had with the video shoot of the African Rising song was we were trying to see the days that these 5 artists will be free to fly them to Ghana with the director.
We chose Ghana because it's in West Africa, which is a huge market for us, but also because Ghana's got such life, it's got such cultural diversity, and the colors in Ghana really appeal to us and appeal to the campaign.
It was about being in a place that would be kind of like, you'd feel like at home. And if you've never been to Accra, you know, you won't really know. But Accra is one of those places, like the city of Accra. When you arrive, you literally feel like you're at home.
I don't really think any of us chose Ghana, just Ghana chose us.
The challenges of shooting the music video were interesting, from logistics to getting all the artists together at the same place at the same time.
Outside of finding the right country and the right times and schedules, like I mentioned, most artists were always busy. Mikasa. And I'm just joking, but yeah, but they actually were really busy a lot. So most artists were always busy, and Diamond was flying, he was flying in and out of London and the UK at the same time. David had just come off tour, Tiwa was dropping a new video, Lola Ray had shows. It was like crazy. So first of all, just the dynamics of getting everybody, you know, in the same place was a bit of a challenge. In terms of the shooting of the music video, you know, it was really hard to find the right music video director, because you also want somebody who's going to be able to bring a balance with the artist, so that there's never like any sort of favoritism, and it's somebody that people could respect. So we went for somebody who's kind of like unknown, but he was actually very known. We reached out to the guys at Callback Dreams, who actually were behind Mafiki Zola's Video Corner, which became like an African anthem. So we were like, okay, we're going to get the right colors, the right textures, and the right sort of mentality. Now, if you imagine we took Lola Ray to Nima, and Nima's like the hood for people who haven't been there before. We took her there and she was like half asleep. As soon as the cameras got on, she like started dancing crazy. Everybody was like, and you could see all the kids were like wanting to be like her. So that was amazing. And I remember while we were in Nima, everybody said, oh no, we're shooting David O here. And I'm like, we're shooting David O in Nima. That's what I'm thinking. I thought, okay, this is very interesting. We had to call David O's people. Were like, we're gonna have a problem. We're gonna need security. And lo and behold, when David O came, we were all like kind of bunched up in like this little green room type thing. And all the kids were so excited. Like everybody, like we saw iPhones in the ghetto. It was crazy. And like the whole like kind of like little house was like moving from side to side, you know. And something very interesting about David O's part is that all the people that people see there as extras weren't extras. We just couldn't clear the way. So the director was like, Leslie, we're just going to shoot him with all these people. So that was crazy. And then obviously, then there was also another interesting dynamic that happened. We initially were going to shoot Tiwa out by a bridge, like on a motorbike, and then we were going to shoot Sakudi by the beach and everything with horses and all this stuff. And the day we were planning on shooting them, literally, we had like a late call day shooter was like, oh, this is going to be great. Suddenly, it's like the sky goes black. And I remember I'm in my hotel room and I look outside and I go, oh, this must just be a tropical storm. It's gonna come and go really fast. Oh my gosh. When I say that it was like it rained the entire day, it was crazy. So we had to basically then re-find locations and everything to be able to shoot, because everybody was traveling. And then obviously the dynamic of Mikasa coming in and out and everything. And Diamond also, he never got to see like a host of the artists as well. So yeah, that was the way it kind of all worked. There were so many interesting stories. Like when we were out in the market with Sakudi, I remember like I was sitting in the car, in one of the cars, I was kind of waiting, we were on a break, and then we were waiting for Sakudi, and the next thing we just like the lady who was sitting in the car with the makeup artist, she says to me, she goes, oh, I think that Sakudi is here. I turn around and his car was surrounded. I didn't even notice him coming in. Like the car was surrounded by people, and there I was trying to act all gangster, and I walked in, I knocked on the door, and I was like, I got in, I was like, Sak, we're gonna get you out of here, okay? And you could just see that he was also like, this is a bit hectic, you know? So in terms of the crew members that we chose for this music video, it was interesting. First of all, one thing that was very interesting was that in the same way that the song was recorded with different people, with different ideas in different places, some people who had never seen each other and that sort of thing, the music video was actually kind of done in that sort of way. Memorable is an understatement. I think we were having a conversation with some of the artists, and I was lucky enough to be on set each time that everybody shot, so I did get to see people's faces light up, and obviously being part of the project from inception and, you know, briefing the artists in and the producer and everything. I think everybody was initially a bit skeptical about it, because it was like, how would this work? How was this going to come together? I think also, you know, obviously me being with Channel O, like I'm used to like crazy chaos because I deal with that every day, all day. 24 hours. But, you know, in retrospect, when we really think about it, and I remember when I was resting, each time I got on set, because there'd be drama, like to be honest, like there were a lot of tears, there was drama, there was screaming, there was fighting, people weren't coming, people were coming, there were visa problems. I mean, this thing went on and on. People wanted this change in the song, that change in the song, you know, and I was always like, okay, let me go and ask MultiChoice, you know, and I kept getting people called in. But I think right now, for me as a young African, and as somebody who works so closely with the MultiChoice group. Obviously, I work for the MultiChoice group as well, and as somebody who also works with a lot of the musicians, you know, on a daily. That's what I do 24/7. And just being passionate about this continent, this project, I believe, is going to have more impact than what people know. You know that feeling when you're kind of in the middle of something and it's crazy and there's tears and there's screaming and there's shouting and then there's like laughing moments and it's like it's not going to come together and like how will this be and all of that stuff, and then even moments where people are trying to pray together, things got crazy, you know? And then you go to bed at night and you just, as you fall asleep, as tired as you are, as angry as you are, as stressed out as you are, as much as somebody's irritated you, as much as all these different things, I think each and every person involved in the project, from MultiChoice to the 2020 guys who A&R'd the track, to each and every artist who was part of it, to the production teams, shooting the behind the scenes, iFaction, Callback Dreams, and everybody who was involved in it. I think I speak confidently when I say we all know that we were all part of something incredible and something that's going to stand in history for a very long time, especially because at the moment, obviously within Africa, like every part of the world, there's like a lot of good and there's like a lot of bad, everything, you know, there is like a balance where that's concerned. Unfortunately, for the most part, you know, what's shown to the rest of the world is kind of the not so great, you know. This is so important because it shows the power that music can actually have, you know, in terms of bringing people together from different parts of the world who may not even understand each other. And I do feel that, you know, African musicians as a whole and just African creatives and companies like MultiChoice who are involved in the creative process, you know, actually form like a good part of like leadership. And, you know, it seems like a lot of fun, but in every struggle and in every situation, like fun and entertainment and drama and everything is what kind of gets people through and keeps people hoping and keeps people dreaming. So yeah, it's very exciting. Like it just feels like being a part of history, and like years from now, we're all going to be like, we were there.
It was something that we did in very trying circumstances. We had rain on one day and no shooting happened. But I think all in all, we started coming together and therefore the project came together. And I think more than anything, that showed us that such a diverse team in itself, because there were South Africans, there were Ghanaians, etc., that team showed exactly what this project was about, and the passion and the belief everyone had in it is just testament to the fact that this project is the right one, and it's the one that I think Africa has been needing for a very, very long time.
A long way, so now we can't stop. Free for life, we're taking off the handcuffs. We came to spread love through the sea breeze. Natural, Mama Africa, we need peace.
I had a meeting this morning, landed from South Africa yesterday. So we spent the whole of today sorting out equipment, sorting out the crew, sorting out catering, vacation, casting. Tomorrow we're just going to be shooting the dancers, we're going to be shooting some of the performers, and also the first person artist that we're going to be shooting is Lola. Guys!